think even really loyal. Cause I can count on one hand how many stay down. Lead a middle finger up, bitch wanna see me now. And I don't even wanna talk about it, I ain't even gon' trip. I'ma just stack these chips, smoking, we bout to get lit. Hey, walk in this bitch, smelling like a grand. Big business representing, making plans. Wydoe, baby, I be really going ham. I'm looking at you, baby, looking at the man. Oh, shout out Marty Mar, he just got out the can. He packed the ball and back to running up them bands. And I ride for the squad and the family with a 35 jersey screaming free. And just like that, baby, we are officially live on the official Wydoe podcast with your boy Wydoe. And I appreciate anybody that's tuning in live, that will tune in moving forward. This is episode 23. Shout out to the greatest behind me, episode 23, Jordan year. What we doing? Today's a special episode. I got a brother of mine on the show that I've loved to watch grow, love to watch thrive. I know him as somebody else. Some people know him as a rich guy, baller, okay, trader, extraordinaire, crypto king. But I've seen him from day one. Love to see his success. And we're going to ask all the real questions. And I mean the real questions, people. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring my brother on to the Wydoe podcast, Crypto King himself, Nick Messina. How we doing, dog?
What's up, bro? Appreciate the intro. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And for anybody that doesn't know, my dog is in his brand new house, okay? Wi-Fi might be a little off, camera might be a little off. He sounds great. He looks great. We'll keep it rolling.
Yeah, a little bit of white background. We'll get that fixed up pretty quickly. Just kind of getting everything settled. But we got the mic in. We got the TV screens. You guys can't see what I see, but I got the little lights going over here. So I got a little something. It doesn't look like his perfect studio because he's on episode 23. But I'm getting there.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Now, Nick, before I even go in depth on your life, okay, we'll try to go chronological. I always try. It ends up falling through. Fuck 'em, we ball. You're a real deal Miami Dolphins fan. Okay, I'm a Falcons fan, so I'm pretty quiet at this point. Are the Dolphins serious right now, bro? First question of the show. What we looking like this year?
Yeah. I think that the first two games are huge for everybody that loves sports and loves the underdog story. You know, I mean, a lot of people hating on a young team and stuff like that, and kind of breaking through a schedule already at 2-0 that most people didn't even think was possible. So I think we're off on the right track because later on in the actual season, their schedule gets a little bit easier. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Like how we're starting off with some sports. I haven't even hung the Dolphin sign up yet, but we're getting there.
Had to. You deserve it, brother. And I've been to more Dolphin games than Falcon games just because I live in Florida. So I'm always rooting for the home team guys. Great to see them. I think they have a great season potentially this year. Let's go to it. Now, Nick, let's dive into it, brother. The Crypto King. But let's start it off from day one, bro. For anybody that doesn't know, Nick, a little bit of your background story.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of people have this persona of, certain people that are in entrepreneurship, like everything was just handed to them. And I'll be honest, guys, I was completely, utterly lost when I first started entrepreneurship. I was actually going to school. I went to school and I have about 120 credits in college that I can't even use because I kept switching my major. I was that guy that kept saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And that's kind of like how it happens. You find yourself when you're not actually looking for it. When you're trying to find yourself, that's when you're going to get confused. If that makes sense, for those of the people that have been down that road, this will make sense to you. For the people that haven't, it will kind of be confusing. You find really yourself when you stop looking and you get yourself in a corner and you're like, hey, where do I go? So I was a college graduate and with my AA, and I was trying to go for my bachelor's. But the problem is I went for marketing, and then I went for chiropractic, and then I went back to marketing, and then I was like, wait a minute. Even if I finished school, all these jobs want to pay me $30K. So randomly, I got in front of this opportunity that I'm kind of in with the marketing. And basically, I was doing videos for this company. And I was like, damn, this company is really, really cool. This is cool. This is trading. This is investing. It's also networking. And I fell in love with it. Fast forward to today's date. I have business all around the world. I spoke in 4 different countries. I've been on stages. He's got some pictures up for me. I speak on stages.
We're not lying now. We don't lie on this Wydoe podcast.
Yeah. So that one was about 500 in Fort Lauderdale. We just did that event. We doubled that up. We went to 800 last summer. This past summer, I went to Toronto with 1,400 people. Then we had Nigeria with 500. Then we did this one right here with about 600. That was last year. So I probably spoke probably in front of more than 6,000 people over my career in this. And I'll be honest, guys, I was the guy that was stuttering. I was always shooting the videos. I was never actually in front of the camera. When I tell you that you find your purpose and you find who you are where you least expect it. So that's kind of like a little bit of my story.
Yes, and I can attest to it. And I will tell you guys, growing up, Nick was always the cool guy. Knew everybody, was cool with everybody, pretty good at certain sports here and there. Wasn't ever the craziest, greatest, but he was always around, always super nice. No one would expect him to be speaking across the world, whatever he's talking about. No way, Jose. So to see that, it's work, it's grind, it's purpose, and like he just said, he found himself without looking for it. So I applaud you, dog. Now you covered a bunch of shit right there, okay? I'm like, whoa. Got questions, okay? First and foremost, Nigeria. The fuck Nick, man, let's break it down, bro. How did that happen? What's that like?
Yeah.
Now we're global.
It's different. It's different. So I have a business partner that I work very close with. One of my good business partners, his name's Alex. He actually grew a team out there of 500 people. And he texted me. He's like, "Hey, Nick, we got to go to Nigeria." And I was like, on Zoom, or do we have to like fly there? And he's like, no, we got to fly there. I'm like, okay, let's go through the process. You had to get certain shots. You had to get a visa. You had to apply for these different things. I'll be honest, it is the trenches. It is the trenches, but what an experience it is just to see other cultures and stuff like that. I'll be honest, they had this rice. It's called the cholo rice. Oh my God, it's the best rice I've ever had in my life. I think rice. I gained like 3 or 4 pounds. We had, the police that actually picked us up from the airport. Then I was escorted. I had 2 bodyguards that I wasn't allowed to leave their set. Well, they weren't allowed to leave me. They were about like, you know how big Shaq is? So a little bit bigger than Shaq and a little bit more muscle. Those are my 2 bodyguards that always walked with me and Alex. And then we had 4 cops. Our cops had M16s on there. So that was pretty interesting. But it was amazing. It was amazing to actually see the different culture. As you can see, on Fridays, I came in all suits. I brought a suit and they said, "Hey, Fridays, we don't wear suits. That's our casual day. So you need to get an outfit." So they actually bought me an outfit. And that was it. That was custom made.
I was about to say, did you plan that outfit right there, dog? You got a girl now. Who the fuck planned that? Now we know.
Yeah. So I had the brown shoes. I had the Burberrys. I was like, "Hey, can I need something like tannish?" He's like, "I got you." So I actually made the design. I had to pay for the custom design, but it fit me perfectly. I actually just put that in a frame. It's actually going to go on my wall. It's an amazing experience just to be able to, meet certain people, and especially people that you do Zooms with for maybe like last like 3-4 months. These people that I'm working with, me and Alex are working with every single day. Obviously, Alex working a little bit more than me, but just being able to connect with them through him, it was an amazing experience just to be able to really, really, meet these people that you talk to every single day and have that physical connection with them.
Right. Really shake their hand. Now on that trip, we'll stay there for a second. Did your outlook on our country change at all when you were outside looking in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been outside the country. Obviously I've been to Jamaica and these other countries, and it is nowhere near how it is over there. They have no traffic lights whatsoever. So when we went through something, even with a police escort, 4 miles was 35 minutes.
Wow.
4 miles, 35 minutes. It was one single road.
Because of the hectic traffic?
Bumper to bumper, trying to police escort through the traffic. Did not matter. Some parts didn't even have cable. Some people didn't have electricity. Everybody had cell phone service. I just didn't understand that one. It was perfect. I had perfect service the whole time I was over there, which made no sense. Perfect FaceTimes. And I'm like, how am I getting text messages right now? And then I'm living in Florida and I lose signal every 5 seconds. So that made no sense to me. But I think just the culture over there and just the way that people are so appreciated over life. Americans are not appreciated over life. We are not. No way. And I don't care who says it. Oh, I'm proud to be an American. No, you're not, because there's certain stuff that you're still not grateful for. You still don't, actually appreciate, little things that we actually have. And, I think a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, well, I pay taxes, and these type of things. I feel like I'm entitled to this stuff." You're really not. It's crazy when you go to different countries. I've been in some other countries, and it is totally a different game.
Right.
Really.
And it's cliche, but I mean, you hear it from everybody. One of the earliest things that people mention is roof over my head.
Yeah.
That alone, not having to worry about getting dripped on by rain, you know, the elements coming inside, like that alone, man, it's crazy as fuck. But we're in a great country. We got great people. They just got to wake up sometimes, Nick. So I want to ask you a question, and my brother Devo in the chat is also kind of referencing this. So as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as a big motivator across the country, global, here we are now. Describe to me in a phrase your best day and your worst day doing what you do.
Yeah, I believe that this is a common question with entrepreneurship. I think everybody says, hey, it's always going to be good, you know, but you just have to grind for a little bit. The grind never stops. I've heard this, you know, Instagram reel. It's like, hey, I quit my 9 to 5 to work every single day of my life. That's how it is. And the greatest part about this is eventually you can walk away from a majority of your business when you're an entrepreneur. That's the goal. The goal isn't work the 9 to 5 till you're 65. It's be able to work like crazy right now so that you can enjoy the rest of your life. Yep. That's how I look at it. So when I have bad days, I'm like, okay, I'm one step closer. So I have a different outlook on it. I actually like bad days. Bad days means I'm growing. Good days means I'm half-assing it. I'm lazy. I'm not getting shit done. That's a good day. So it's just a way how we portray it is everything. How can we, you know, change the narrative? How can we make it a better outcome is everything. So a negative day for me, it's a great day. It's a great day. Whether I don't believe it right at the exact moment, but time I rest my head down at the end of the day, I'm like, shit, I got a lot of stuff done today. It was a hard ass day, but I got a lot of stuff done.
And if it's a bad day, that means I have things to improve on. I have room for improvement. Let's get to work.
Absolutely. That's it. Right. You hit it right on the nail.
You know, you can relate that with anything. And I've seen that with Nick. Literally, he's become different guys. You know, I'm a big fan on my show. I say, stop comparing yourself to all these celebrities, these pro athletes, these rich people, these whoever they're looking at, and compare yourself to you. Last week, last month, last year, 5 years ago, and you might be surprised you're doing better than you thought. And you might be shocked that I'm in the same fucking spot. There's your answers. Fuck the celebs. And Nick is one of them guys. If you wait a month, fuck a year. If you wait a month, 2 weeks, he's a whole different guy. Blonde in his hair, a beard all of a sudden, new chains, upgrading, new countries. So you're a testament of that, bro. Always getting better, always improving. Now, what's the end goal, Nick, for you? Not life-wise, but work-wise, business-wise. What's the end goal here?
Yeah, exactly what I said, to be able to walk away from something and be able to do the stuff that I want to do. I rather work as hard as I can in my 20s and 30s so that way I can relax and have a family in my 40s and 50s. Most people, like I just said, they work 95 to 65. What's the average lifespan in America? Because we eat horribly, you know, even though my house apparently is vegan only now, so I can only eat certain stuff. Cough at somebody right now. But you live to 65 and your average lifespan, Steve, right, is 73. What are we going to do in those couple of years? Are we supposed to travel, supposed to do all this stuff? I'm old. My end goal is to be able to walk away and have passive income.
Yep.
That's really it. And obviously that entails so many different things. Everybody talks about you get this, you get that. That's not really like, it's extras. It's like bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
The most powerful thing you can do is have passive income where you can walk away. Yep. Really understand that concept, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in, you know, some restaurant business, whether it's a club, whatever you make it out to be, where you can do something, you get paid off of it by not doing anything. That's powerful.
Yeah. And so many people are out here working their ass off for a weekend. Work their ass off for all week for the weekend. Yeah. And then Monday comes and I hate life. And on that, you know, straight up, right? I work enough to get a check to buy whatever I'm going to get, use, whatever, to have a great ass weekend. And come Sunday, oh, goddamn, counting down as the sun goes down. 6 a.m. comes early. Fuck. Hate my life. And Mondays are terrible for people. And Nick has a segment on Mondays to help this because he knows Monday is a terrible day. So he does a Monday mindset wake up call. How powerful is that, Nick? Why do you do that for?
Yeah, because I'm a big believer on creating your own narrative. As we know, we are the sole creator of our story. We can control the narrative like this. I'll give you guys an example right here. This is probably the best example you could probably get. Have you ever got mad at somebody for something that you realize, oh, vegan food's not good. Have you ever got mad at somebody, right? Now Trisha's going to blow up the chat, right? Have you ever got mad at somebody for something and you realize it wasn't actually real? Like, for example, oh my God, this person lied on something about me. You got mad on it and then you realize, hey, it wasn't even true, but you had all these emotions fluttering. You created in your head a scenario that it was a negative mindset. Did you know you can actually do advice, or you can do a reversal of that? You can actually create a positive mindset for yourself to start the week. You can say, hey, it's going to be a dominant week. And I talk about that on my Monday mindset, just because you got to kickstart your week. You got to plan your week. You got to dominate your week. And Monday sets the tone. And what he said, everybody works so hard Monday through Friday to get off on the weekend. Congratulations. You're still going to be in the same, cycle if you're going to be doing that. It's not what you do from your 9 to 5. It's what you do from your 6 to 10 to get out of your 9 to 5. Entrepreneurship doesn't stop. It doesn't. That's how this whole process works.
Don't work 8 hours a day for someone else and go home and not put any hours into yourself.
Exactly. It's growth. He's talking about my growth. You see this person come onto this call and he's inspiring. And it's so funny. Everybody around him has been telling him, yo, you need to pour into other people. You need to do other podcasts and stuff like that. And he started doing this and everybody's like, this is exactly what he's meant to do, because he's very good at actually creating that mindset. He's developed himself. I think sports helped him tremendously with this, but he's talking more about me. We got to go back to him for a second, because I don't think a lot of people have been noticing this. He has a born gift and is actually to be able to pour in and elevate and can create another, line of thought for people. This is what all entrepreneurs said. And he said this quote, and it hit me quite a second ago. That's why I'm talking about him. It says, hey, stop comparing yourself to celebrities. Celebrities only show you what they want to show you. The real multimillionaires, billionaires, they're not posting on social media what they do. Yes, Elon Musk talks shit. Jeff Bezos talks his shit. They didn't do that when they're working. When they're working, they don't post for 2 months. They're not talking about no projects they're currently working on. They're putting their head down and they're getting to the grind. Every person that's successful creates a tunnel vision, says, hey, F what's going on to the right of me, F what's going on to the left of me, says, hey, I got to focus on this. And I don't care if everybody laughed at me. I don't care if everybody thinks I'm crazy. Everybody thought Jeff Bezos was crazy. This is the greatest story of life. When you start a book club, a bookstore from your garage, and it turns into a $1 billion business. How and how big it actually turned into. Think about this statistic. They were so big, UPS was trying to sue them because they were going around them to create their own postal service.
Yes.
So you're talking about UPS, whatever the United States Postal Service is, right? They're going around them to create what's a $1 billion company. If that just doesn't go to show you that you have to create your own narrative, your own vision, your own story, I don't know what else it does. We hear it all the time. We say, oh my God, how would I ever think of that?
Yep.
They start thinking about these stories because they say, I don't care what the person left or the person right of me is doing. I'm just going to create my idea. I think it's good. I think it's going to impact people. That's entrepreneurship.
I think literally in the definition of entrepreneurship is taking great risk. Like that's one of the key words, is taking great risk. Like a lot of people claim that entrepreneurship real loosely these days. If you are, you are. But to take great risk is a huge factor to me, because all entrepreneurs will talk about when they had their small business or when they were back order or where they didn't make it yet and then it got up here. But all of them reference that hard time, them low days. You got to go through it. And that's with everything in life.
Yeah. You want to know one thing that, separates a lot of different people is when you join entrepreneurship, instead of everybody wants to celebrate when they first make some money, take that money and reinvest back in your business. Then we'll show who's a real entrepreneur. Because think about it right here, this podcast right here. Do you think he started it, made some money, and then go ahead and spent it? No, he reinvested it. He made it. Look at that mic. Look at that setup right there.
Making money. Let's slow down. Let's slow the fuck down, Nick. Okay. I ain't no crypto king. I'm a small little podcast. I'm a / rapper / college basketball hooper. This is all funded by your boy. But in due time, if you invest in yourself, right? Every weekend I could have blown the check in Miami at the strip club. I've done that. I'll tell you about it. But I had to stop doing that. I didn't gain anything from that. I can take that $300,000, $500,000 and invest in some of this shit that will gain me something. Follow my dream. And a big thing, dog, you tell me if it's you know, I'm not no entrepreneur. Okay, I do my thing. I'm more of like an inventor. I'll give you an idea and hey, you take it and run.
Mhm.
Is it all about what you truly like to do, Nick? What you truly love? I feel a lot of us these days have lost touch with what we really like. We just want to show people what we got so they know we got it. Do you even like it? Do you enjoy the food? Do you enjoy what you just purchased, what you just earned, or you just want people to know you have it?
Yeah. I don't think you can have any type of burning desire and work towards anything if you don't love it. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. You'll do it for a couple days. You'll do it for a couple weeks, maybe a month, maybe 90 days. You'll do a 90-day run. You'll give up if you don't have a burning desire. Anybody can get motivated. I can motivate you right now, with these next couple, things that we talk about. But if no one's there to push you the next day and you don't love it, congratulations, you're going to quit. You'll quit. That's just anything. In sports, why do we, suck at it so much, but keep working at it? Because we have a burning desire. We know the outcome. We know what it will bring. So you have to love anything you do. If you don't actually love exactly what you do, figure out another way around it. Maybe I don't like certain things in my job. Does that mean I'm going to quit on it completely? No. I understand what I have to do. I understand that my vision. I personally love connecting with people. I love personally coaching and mentoring people around the world. I personally love investing. I love trading. I love the whole idea about it. That's personally me. That's what gets me fired up is be able to see somebody else's success stories. That's personally what I love.
Yep.
I could not do this if I didn't love people. I'm going to be honest.
Maybe
I wasn't. Huh?
You rely on them so much. How could you not?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So yeah, I believe you do have to love it. So you got to figure out your niche that's going to, not have to rely on other people to motivate you and push you in these little things, right?
Absolutely.
You don't have to be good at
it. You'll find what you're good at, but you at least got to try. And I think the biggest thing I took from him, he took that risk. I just showed you guys Nick on a huge stage. This isn't even nowhere near the biggest of which, but I've also seen Nick on a small stage. And if I talked to Nick 5 years ago, he probably wouldn't have believed 10 years ago. He wouldn't have believed he was up here on this kind of stage. But once you take that one risk, you get a little bit of feeling. Hey, I did it. We did it. We're here. I'm going to take another one, a bigger leap. Why not? Oh, this is what the fucking billionaires have done. This is the break the matrix. They're taking the risk that other people said I can't do. Follow in line. Nick took the risk. And before we dive deep, dog, I just want to say this. So anybody in here is watching, no matter what you do, if you're a trader, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a painter, if you're a hairstylist, if you're a hooper, do your thing. And always remember, it's how you compare yourself. I'm glad you brought up Bezos, bro. It's one of the ones I love. Because I like to make the announcements, and I'm going to go ahead and make it right here, Nick. You ready? We got the crypto king himself, but young Wydoe, right? I'm filthy rich, brother. I don't even know if you fucking knew this yet, brother. I am filthy rich, loaded with money, swimming in that money, dog. And at the same time, I'm broke as fuck. I'm talking about dead broke, Nick. I'm talking got nothing. Ready? It's how I compare myself. If I compare myself to the broke homeless man, let's say I got 100,000 right now. If I compare myself to the broke homeless man with zero and my 100 grand, I am filthy rich. Could buy fucking McDonald's for life, hotel rooms for life. Bitch, I'm booked, right? If I compare myself to Jeff Bezos with that 100 grand, I'm dead broke with his 300 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And check this out. I'm close. The homeless man is closer to me, 0 to 100 racks, than my 100 racks to the billions. You looking for the billions? He's up at the fucking moon. Okay, zeros here, 100 racks here. Bezos, moon. So slow down with how you compare yourself. You might be surprised. You're doing better than you are. Compare yourself to last week and let's get to work. Nick, let's dive into it deep real here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you're involved with crypto and stocks?
Crypto, stocks, foreign exchange, everything involving trading. I've dove into mainly crypto. That's why I've kind of fell in love with it. It's opened a lot of doors for me.
From the gate, how long have you known about crypto? From the gate, were you a fan? Were you intrigued? Were you skeptical at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, oh, this thing's stupid. I think everything. Yeah, we all think that. We're all like, hey, this thing's not going to go anywhere. What is it? And I think it's just the level of knowledge. If I talked about this 3 years ago when I was doing these presentations, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. So 2.5 years ago when I first started, if I would have been like, hey, have you heard of crypto? Everybody was like, no. Nowadays I'm talking about it and everybody's like, Yeah. Let me get into that. And it's crazy because the world is changing. World is, creating that, different narrative, kind of what we talked about. Innovators that are not listening to the outside noise like I did made billions. Me was a little bit skeptical at first, 3 years ago before I actually got involved in this. I didn't really know what it was. But now it's turned into this thing where, it's legal tender in a couple different countries around the world. People are paying for everything with it. I actually pay my taxes in Florida coming up next year on it. So that's amazing.
First time.
And,
there you go.
first time paying my taxes in crypto. That'll be next year. That'll go official. Shout out to Robert Sanchez, salute to him. So he's setting that up. And the city, Miami, you could pay all of your Miami taxes off that currently right now. It's being big. Obviously, we have the FTX arena in Miami. You have the Coinbase arena. You have the Crypto.com arena. You have all these stadiums that are getting named after this stuff. I personally don't like FTX. We're not going to get into that right now. Shout out to Celsius, but we'll get that rock and roll later. Different topic for a different day.
Right. No free shout out. And so now let me ask you this, dog. Crypto. Is it something like, do you look at it like money, or do you look at it as a different thing? We know it equals money. We know it has value. It's depending on how you look at it, but do you treat it as money? Because money, people say save it, invest it. Is crypto the same principles, or does it have its own rules?
We're so early in the stage with it, right? It's like internet boom. This is so early stages. But yes, I look at it strictly like money. If you have a lot of it, yeah, you rule the world. I'll give you guys a little backstory. How somebody actually one of the biggest controllers of the world right now is called the Winklevoss brothers. So if you ever watched the movie Facebook, they actually were the ones that founded Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg stole the idea from them. If you ever watch the movie, it's a great movie. It's the whole story about Facebook. It's actually really intense. Mark Zuckerberg did have to do some stuff to actually get it, but he got sued by 2 kids in Harvard, 2 twins that came up with Facebook because he stole the idea. Well, they sued him for $13 million. They invested that into Bitcoin in 2010. And now they're top 50 richest people in the world, and they control a lot of what's going on in the world. And you think about Elon Musk. A lot of people talk about, Warren Buffett. You heard of Warren Buffett, right? One of the richest guys in the world. Stocks. Did you know that Elon Musk, because Warren Buffett says, hey, I don't do crypto. Warren Buffett is $200 billion less rich than Elon Musk.
Yeah.
One does stocks and says crypto doesn't work. One does crypto.
And a lot of people don't realize Elon puts his money where his mouth is. He spends a lot of his money on not even just investment shit, but his own SpaceX. Okay, Tesla. He puts a lot of money in that shit, and he still got the money in the bank.
Yeah, he did not make barely any money off Tesla. So he says it multiple times, and the revenue goes to show for it. That's actually all documented. But think about it. So Elon Musk is $200 billion richer than Warren Buffett. One does crypto, one doesn't do crypto. So yeah, I think crypto is a legal tender. I think that, it is a way of money, and it will open up other doors. We saw these movies a couple of years ago, people trying to buy it on, they promote it and say, hey, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. And now, you think about other countries, people couldn't even send their money to people in during the war with Russia and Ukraine. They couldn't even send money over there because all the banks got shut down. How do you think that family members were sending them money? Through crypto. When your bank shuts down, what is there going to be? What can you do? So, yeah, I look at it like that. I do spend, some crypto every once in a while, but I am a holder of it. I am a long-term investor with it. I don't go hog wild, nothing like that. But I do have my money spread out in there. And I'll give you guys just one tip is just to do a dollar cost average, just put in, a certain amount into a crypto and just let it stock up. Right now we're on a downward market. This is the time where the rich get rich. I'm gonna be honest. We're going into a recession right now with stocks. It's probably a good time to get into some stocks. I'm not going to be a financial advisor. I'm not going to say, hey, this is guaranteed, nothing like that. But I'm going to tell you guys. But this is what I'm telling you guys is that, when things are going down, that's when you want to buy. That's it. You want to go when it's going lower. You want to keep accumulating as much as you can. Stock up for it. Hold it for a couple of years. The people that are more patient are become the more rich. That's how it works.
Right. I mean, that's pretty much anything in life. The less eyes are on it now, less people are on it now, cheaper it is, you buy in. Then when the world finds out, value goes up and you were original holder. And I don't even do stocks, but it makes sense to me. Okay. Breaking it down like that. Goddamn. You know, this is the Wydoe podcast, baby. Like he said, he's bigging me up. But right now, anybody can call in, be a guest on my show. But if we blow up here, episode 400, price might go up, baby.
Just like stocks. What about the stock of the podcast? Where is it at?
Stocks, baby. Growing public. So, all right. Let's break it on this, Nick. We're going all over the place, okay? We'll get off crypto and stocks for a second. Obviously, as a entrepreneur, as a motivator, you have to make the image what it needs to be so you draw people in. We're talking Instagram, social medias. How different, if it is your Instagram life and your real life?
Yeah. I think the first thing as a coach or a mentor is that, you can't have bad days. You can't. Unfortunately, people look up to you, and I get DMs all the time. Of people. Right now, I coach 5,000 people around the world in my business. And, people look up to you every single day, and they want to see positivity. I'm not really with the flashy this and that. I'm more with like, hey, this is what I've accomplished because of self-development. I rather show a progress. I leave everything on my page that I've ever done. He's just
come on now.
Just
look at him before the beard. Young Nick. Hey, really been out here, boys. Before the blonde streak. Really helping people out here.
A little unhealthy at that moment, but hey, listen, a little fat around here, some little stuff.
Hey, when you look good, you play good. When you play good, they pay good.
Yeah. But I do I do like to leave everything on my Instagram because I love people to see the progression. And I love everybody. Someone said pre-vegan.
Gotta be.
Yeah. Don't highlight Trisha's post. Don't mind that one.
I haven't even thought about going down that vegan route, brother. So let's stay off of that.
Yeah, that's a different topic for a different day. But I think that everybody loves to see the progression. Everybody thinks that there's just high points and they do that. I don't like to be one of those type of people. Yes, I will post about success and stories and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm posting. At the same time, I'm actually realizing I actually did it, to be honest. Sometimes you don't reflect on stuff you got to go. When I got the house, I posted that we got our house. This is my first house. So this is crazy for me, and it's celebrating. But, some people take it as, bragging. Other people take it as, hey, this is an accomplishment. If you actually scroll through my page and everything's there still, if you want to go to my Instagram, go to the very bottom. I was just a regular kid growing up, and then right through the process, you're going to see, damn, okay, it's a little bit different. And that's why certain posts hit harder than other people's posts. It's because when people actually know the story and the process, it hits differently. But yes, there's a bunch of mumbo jumbo on Instagram. And, I personally, the half that stuff's not real. We know that. I know that from a videography standpoint. I know I can film and make something seem the way I want it to make it seem. I can fake rain. I can fake effects. I understand all that type of stuff. And the one thing you never want to do is lose credibility. That works for everybody.
Right. And I only say that, only break that down because, hey, we're all playing this game. Instagram is now a social network market. Okay. Whatever business, whatever you're doing, this is what it is. This is the game here. So I say that to say, take it for what it is. Okay. Imagine all the big time people we see on Instagram. Dumb it down a little bit and just imagine what their real life is like. Don't be so starstruck of because think about you. Do you put your bad days? Do you put yourself out there? No. Why would they?
Yeah. And I hate how people compare their life to social media. And this is something I have to deal with all the time. People message me and they're like, well, I want to be like this person. I want to be like that person. Do you know that person? Do you know what they go through? And I think social media is killing relationships and, other things that we have going on, especially, your relationship with your spouse or something like that, because we have unrealistic expectations. We're like, oh, well, their relationship's going like this. How about this? I'm not saying that's how mine is, but I'm just saying a lot of people, I hear these things that happen all the time where they say, hey, well, they got married in 3 months. Well, they got married in a year. That's how mine should be, right? No. Everybody's, story is different, especially in business too. We hear these unrealistic goals. Well, he made 6 figures in 6 months. Why am I on year 2? Somebody gets something that you want. It's not because they posted on social media that made it their way is special. They were just able to solve a problem better than you. Period. That's simple. But
Yeah.
he talks about it all the time, how he hates social media, how they actually run it. And he calls it out all the time. And I love it because it brings you back down to reality. It brings you to a mellow state. And when you're grounded and you understand these little details that he's talking about, you can start to separate and elevate.
Separate, elevate. And I think it, like Nick is saying, it starts with the mindset. If we're all together, okay, no matter what you're doing, if I hate my job, you hate your job, but we both have some free time on the side. And there's guys like Nick that's literally saying, here you go. Start out as free time on the side, extra money. It's not going to be overnight. You're going to be on the stage talking and being an entrepreneur big time, but start out slow. Boom, boom, boom. The more work you put in, the more it'll give you. And I saw that with Nick. Okay. Before all this, my dog was a videographer. Okay. Different viewpoint. Let's go there for a second, Nick.
Yeah.
You miss those days at all? I think those days helped you move forward in your marketing mind and what you do. You know what I mean? But do you miss those days?
Definitely made me understand entrepreneurship. I needed to invest back into my business. So it's funny enough, I started off on this. Everybody said I was good at editing. Everybody was like, oh, you're good at editing. You have an eye for it, blah, blah, blah. And I randomly bought this drone because I asked my uncle, I'm like, hey, I want to make some money. Do people pay for drone shots? Because I see everybody do this aerial photography. And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, I bought this drone. I started making money from it. And then randomly went into one thing, went into another, to me buying my camera. I didn't even know my settings on. I shot my first music video. The guy's like, I'm not going to post it. It's that bad.
Right.
Yeah. And then it turned into me actually blowing up off this thing of me constantly investing in new equipment, constantly growing my skill sets, constantly learning, sitting on time on YouTube. I'm the type of person that you show me how to do it. If I watch a video, I'll be able to do it. I taught myself everything, blew up into a business that has right now around the world 45 million views on all my work. Shot for Dr. Oz, shot for famous rappers, shot for different celebrities and stuff like that. I was able to go on a couple of different tours, do some different things. I did love it. But I felt like I was trading my time for money. What I mean by this, max I ever made on it was $40,000 a year. And I was working 60, 70 hours.
Right.
Yes, when you love it, it doesn't seem like work, but then when you're short on money, you have to start doing stuff you normally don't like to do. I personally did not like to do weddings. That wasn't me. That's what I wasn't really like to do, but it pays well. So then it pushes you down other avenues. So do I miss it? Not really. Because I still kind of do videos, but I do it for more of my team and kind of how I want to do it and do kind of what I love to do it. And, once you're good at something, you never want to, walk completely away from it. But it was a great eye opener for me, like you said. It needed to happen. It needed to happen because it led me to this job. I was filming for this company, and I was like, "Wow, like I can actually do what they do." I don't know if I can, but I think I can. Let me just try it. You have that dog mentality in you because of sports. You're like, "Let me just try it."
Right, and everything, all the dots connect when you look back. Can't look forward and connect the dots, but we can look back and say, okay, you filmed at that event, clicked in his head, move fast forward, but you got to take the faith. You got to take the leap of faith. You got to take a risk, and you got to like it. If you're tired of what you're doing, make it happen. Nick, I mean, we're in 2022, brother. People can literally follow me, follow you, get money from you, learn from you without even having to be in your state or your goddamn country. It's over the phone. We got to take advantage of that. Everyone complains about their situation, but what are you doing about it? I'm a victim too. And let's get it straight. On this Wydoe podcast, I don't speak to the viewers. I'm not right. I'm speaking to myself and who I wish I could have heard. So me too. Okay. But I think that's a huge thing here. And Nick, man, you're a perfect example of let's move on. I think we're honing on this too much. Now, we just talked about how much he's a mentor, how much he's an entrepreneur, what he's been doing, his grind. I think you can tell his positive attitude. Okay, he's upbeat, but everybody struggles. Everybody goes through things. Me too. As an artist, okay, my mom's dealt with cancer for 7 years. She's healthy now. Shout out to my mom in remission. But Nick, you've gone through some tough times too with family, bro. And a lot of people don't even know this, don't even reference this, and we don't got to go too deep. But I'd like you to shed some light, if you may, because I think it shows, what it takes to be mentally strong.
Yeah. Before I actually get into all of this, I want you guys to know, maybe a couple of years ago, I wasn't able to kind of share this. And then I realized that everything that breaks us actually, builds us back up. And, everything that Wydoe actually went through, has made him into the man he is today. And same thing with me with the story I'm about to share with you guys today. We look at our burdens sometimes as actual burdens, and sometimes they're actually, our foundation. Well, they literally are our foundation, and they made us who we are, and we have backbones that no one's ever going to be able to see. There's certain things that we are more receptive to, and there's certain things that we're more aware of because of different situations. In my personal situation, I was 16 years old, and my brother died in the middle of his sleep, in my house, and I personally did not know how to deal with it. It was an accidental suicide. And, sometimes we look at these situations and, we try to figure out what really came to us. And, is it about us? Because I hold a grudge for a couple of years, because that night before I actually could have opened up the door. I was going to go to it. I decided to go back to my room. That happens. And we hold ourselves accountable for this. And for years, I looked at all these different situations and I was like, well, I can't do this because of that happened. I'm going to run away from this problem. And what I did when it first happened, I kind of run away from different things. And I learned as I got older, I have a story to tell. And my story to tell is that I can relate to other people that actually had their family members pass away. I'm more, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? I can hear you differently. If you have somebody pass away, let's just be honest. If you're on this call, if you have somebody pass away, you feel for them. You know what they need. You know that they don't want to be smothered. They don't want to hear sorry for your loss. They don't want to hear none of that stuff. If anybody's been through certain situations, you understand that these situations, you have a second life inside of you that burned inside of, that torch is a little bit higher. And the man I am today is solely because of the different things I've faced in my life. Everybody thinks your life is, perfect when you're at top, but no one wants to be there during the practices, during the struggles, during the recoveries. No one wants to be there. I'm mentally stronger because of this. I cherish family more because of this. I cherish the certain people around me more than this. I care for people a little bit more than this. And that's what made me into the person I am today. Why I'm able to be so impactful when I speak on different stages and on Zooms. People say, hey, I feel you through the phone sometimes when I'm talking to them. It's simply because I have the emotions. I have the emotions to hear you more. Somebody just said, RIP my mom. You know exactly what it is. We've been to those situations before. We hear these different situations and we're like, okay, like I see what they're going through. You have to rebuild. Someone said, did you have to rebuild exactly to the point? You do. But you rebuild yourself. I personally, I'm gonna be honest, completely honest with you. Before that happened, when people say, hey, somebody passed away, something like that, when I hear it when I was 15, 16, I had no emotions. I had nothing going through me. I was just like, I don't really know what to say. It hits me now and I pause. All the emotions flow through you. And some people look at it as a cripple. I look at it as the greatest thing that you could possibly. God gave me a gift, and the gift was that I can hear and listen to more people, and I can impact more people. I can feel you, touch you, and move forward. I don't trying to get spiritual on here, nothing like that. I don't really know who's, but
real.
Yeah, I'm just being real. I'm being real is that we need these situations. The situation Wydoe went through, he can relate. He can coach, he can mentor, and he had a second, thought on life. Somebody else just said, I lost my mom too. It changed me, made me stronger. See, people are really feeling this, what we're going on. And I'll be honest, I never even talked about this to the beginning of this year. January this year, I spoke on a stage in Atlanta with 700 people, and I told this story for the first time. Why? Because I needed everybody to understand I was moving past this, and I recognized it. We recognize situations when we talk about them. When we grow from them, that's when we become and really find ourselves. I found myself just last year. It's been like 10 years. I found myself last year. And I found myself in a hole. You don't find yourself at the top. You find yourself at the bottom. I think, I forget who said this. He says, when you're in hell, you don't stop there. You keep on going. You don't hang out there.
No way. Only way is up.
And I know, like, some people, maybe we're getting a little bit too emotional right now, but some people need to hear this because whatever you're going through, you look at it as a blessing. You rewire your brain, what we just talked about. You change the narrative, change the situation, use it as motivation. not cripples. You're not on crutches. You can't, it's not that you can't walk, you can't push through. You have the ability to use it as a reason to keep going. You are living through another person. You are here to push through the person. You're here to tell your story. You're here for a reason. And the reason is for somebody else to hear your story. So I appreciate you bringing up, a couple, like I said, maybe last year you brought this up. I probably would not know what to say.
Yeah, bro. And it's growth, and it's just growth. And I know I sometimes seem like a cool, calm, collected guy at all times, but this is a developed trait. I've been through a lot of my life, but I look at it, it's hard in me. I've always been raised as a man up kind of guy, but there's no problem with getting emotional. It's all real, right? And I've lost people in my life, and speaking on what Nick's going through, those days will never get better. That'll be the worst day of your life. Okay. The feeling will never go away. But what can we do to make it go from 100 to 40? Never going to be 0. You're never going to get our brother back. Never going to get family members back, whoever. But what can we do to bring it down to it's not affecting us that bad? And how can it positively affect us? And then you can use that moving forward. If today you're having a bad day, no sales, shitty day at work, think about a day where it was really bad. Nothing will be as bad as that day for Nick. And if you got through that, what's some sales? What's a couple no's to a couple people wanting to join this thing? Whatever it is in your business, we can always move forward. And the best thing about it, you always got another day. And I think that's why it hits reality, Nick, when you lose somebody, because for the first time, everyone's living in this made up world. I used to think, what's money? What's the real world, right? Until you lose somebody and they don't have another day, I think everyone thinks this shit's pre-planned. Now we're out here floating. Maybe it is pre-planned. I like what Forrest Gump said. Maybe it is pre-planned. Maybe we're floating. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Hey, shout out to Forrest Gump. But I think it's just huge, man, because I wanted to say that, Nick, because everyone might see the image of Crypto King Nick. And don't get it confused. He is that, but he's earned that. He's built his way to that. And at the same time that he's that, he's also Nick Messina, a regular guy just like us. We all got problems. We all got this shit going on. How can we use it to motivate us to do better? And you've done it, brother. And like me, what gets me going and gets me on my ass, I make music, I make podcasts, and I'm not big on myself. I'm not a big booster of my own shit. I don't give a shit. If you like it, you like it. If not, I'm sorry. I'll try better next time. But I got to remind myself, man, people might like what I say. People might like the music. People might like what we're saying, what Nick's got going on. You got to give it to them. You got to put it out and be you and be honestly you and move forward. Because I've had friends this year that have gotten murdered, multiple of them, and that wasn't planned. They had plans for next week, their birthday and shit, and when life was taken away. So this shit's very fragile, and we're not getting too deep, Nick, but this is all real shit. And I say that because you're a real guy and a real story. And I think we just had to shed some light on that, man. I love you, brother, no matter what, for life. And anybody that knows Nick, when he hits you up, it's a lot of texts. He's real quick to respond. He's hitting you big time. Some people might not like that, but I know that's because he's real. He likes real friendships. He understands and appreciates life for what it is. So anybody that's going to reach out to him, join his businesses, learn from him, be a mentee, not only will you get the best, but he'll be there for you, talk to you. It's who he is.
Appreciate that a lot. I think this podcast definitely was some gems. I definitely think that most people need to rewatch this a couple different times. If you have not subscribed, if you're part of my team and you're on this call, you have not subscribed to Wydoe's podcast. It talks about everything on here. Drop some gems on here. It's some crazy stuff. I really, really think all of you guys should subscribe to this. Check him out on some SoundCloud. He's got some music. We know each other. We go way back. This man's got the rhymes for days, but I appreciate everybody hopping on this with us.
Definitely, man. And I appreciate you guys. And last one before we get off of here, Nick. We didn't hone on it too much, okay? You got a beautiful girlfriend. You guys are in here, new house. Guys are going crazy. I ask all my guests, especially ones that have found it, what does love mean to you, Mr. Crypto King Nick?
Oh, man.
And how'd you know you had the right one and not the next one?
Yeah. I think this question, this is one of those social media questions, right? Everybody goes on there and they say, hey, whatever that person has it, I have it. I think that whatever I tell you guys right here, you have to take it with your own twist on it. And what I would actually say on here is that you have to do life with somebody that you feel like it's not you don't have to take multiple jumps. You feel like it's just natural. And when they tell you that when you actually find the one, you know it right away. It's not this process that takes years to figure it out. And when you do life with somebody, it's like I just said, you just feel like you're just doing it. You don't feel like it's a task to do it. You don't feel like you're asking them to love you. You don't feel like you're asking them to, care for you and all these little type of things. People that are mature enough, that are ready for a relationship, you just step right into it. I'm going to say it again. People that are ready for a relationship, you just step right into it. You don't have to be asked to step into it. So personally, I think I found, my actual soulmate, and the reason why we actually live together now. And some people say, hey, maybe that's too quick. I mean, I think I've had more conversations with this person that I've had with other relationships that last a lot longer. I think I've known, other people previously. We started my last relationship. I started that, but we knew each other for 3 years. I felt like in the past 6-7 months, with Trisha, like I've actually been able to have more meaningful conversations than I've had with any relationship ever that's lasted years. So I would just say, if anything, go back to what you really like. Find somebody that actually fits into what you really like, because there is somebody out there. You don't have to change yourself completely. Yes, as guys, we have to adjust a little bit, especially to vegan food. I don't know how I'm liking this so far.
It's making you better though, brother. Hey,
I'm going to bed hungry still, but hey, listen, we adjust the little things, but don't take my exact narrative for it. You have to figure out your own narrative. You know when you know, and you'll feel it when you feel it.
Yeah, my dad met my mom, 3 months, proposed. They've been married 34 years at this point. You know what I mean? So, hey, time is not there. It's just, is it real?
But let's get rid of the social media expectations. You don't have to get a house when they say you have to get a house. You don't have to feel this way. Get rid of it. What you feel with that person is everything. And then stop doing the texting stuff. Stop it. Hang out. Real stuff. You can ask her. We went on like 45 dates before we actually started dating.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of things, man, I hate when you see the guys and the girls that'll change themselves when they get in one. You were you before you met whoever you were with. Together, you should be elevated, not
that's a great point. I actually forgot to mention that. I think that somebody that actually is at the same level of, push with you is everything. I don't feel like I have to push her to be better. I don't feel like she needs to push me to be better. We just naturally we're subconsciously challenging each other to grow. That's everything. That's everything. I think that's probably the most attractive thing ever, is where you work with somebody that, subconsciously challenges you. Like you just see them working and you're like, damn, I feel motivated. Let's get it on. And that's coming from somebody from, she has her own 6-figure business that's been able to, be very successful. And, just be able to combine my personal 6-figure entrepreneurship business, and just be able to combine our ideas has just been insane. I remember our first date, we drove about an hour and 10 minutes down south. And, for that long, we didn't listen to one single song the whole way down. We're just talking about conversations, not even of just each other, but just meaningful conversations.
That's powerful right there. Communication is everything.
Yeah.
Come on. And we're definitely going to have another show. Like I said, this is one of his first nights in his new house. We're getting the setup ready. Okay. He's got his own office. Don't get it twisted now. If you're in locally, you can come to his office. He has meetings there. He has a fucking nice setup. We're definitely going to have my brother Nick back on the show. Maybe we'll have him with his beautiful girl Trish. We'll have a whole little couples thing. You never know. They're both big time ballers, entrepreneurs. And I love to hear the female perspective of things. Might have to do that, dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Always. Nick, man, thank you so much for coming in. And if no one told you today, brother, you look good. Here to give you your flowers. Till next time, this was Nick Messina, Crypto King. I appreciate you, dog. That's my guy one time. And I'm not going to stay too long, man. As you guys know, this is Wydoe. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Let you know who it is.
And Adam. They're here.
Thank you, Wydoe.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Pat. And you look good in the Thunderdome, big dog. God damn. Shout out to Pat McAfee and the boys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I like to go ahead and roll me up some medicine and watch this back, make sure I didn't fuck up, see where I can improve. If you know where I can improve, please let me know in the comments. I appreciate anybody that's in this chat. Let me go ahead and go to the comments. I appreciate anybody that's tuned in live, that will tune in moving forward. As you know, it's your boy Wydoe, and I know you know the question's coming, baby. How you living? How you living? It's all up to you. It's perspective. Okay. You might have had a shitty day, a terrible day, but can you make it better mentally? We got to find a way. Let's do it. I believe in you. Compare yourself to last week, last month, last year. I think you're doing better than you might have thought. My cat right now is sleeping. Look at this bitch. I don't even have to show you because I already have a video. My cat, shout out to the babies. Okay, not the rapper, the babies, IES on that shit with a kitty cat. Look how my cat sleeps. Legit. Walked in my room and like, look, hey, yo, what's going on, girl? So, I mean, I just had to show that. Shout out to my cat, man. Shout out to anybody in this chat right now. Till next time, it is your boy, Wydoe. Do I spit a rap? I'm not even going to spit a rap because I got a new segment called One Take with Wydoe. Shorter segments. Wydoe podcast, obviously, we go long. The One Take with Wydoe episodes will be short takes, and I'll definitely get on there and rap. So, till next time, guys, I appreciate anybody tuning in. Until next time, it's your boy, Wydoe.
One time. Yeah. Wydoe in this bitch. Small gang get lit. And I'ma rock on this beat. I'ma rock on the beat like, hey, I got the gas. And we got the lick. I smoke with the Uber when we in the whip. You fuck with that Wydoe. You fuck with that new shit, hey. And I'm on the gas. I'm on the lick. If I do say, and I'm back the ball and hit the net. Back, but we never left. Got our backs back to the wall.